what it do? It's Jackie Do in it bit. In it bit, what it do? Okay, let me chill out. I just went live, y'all, for like 10 minutes with no sound. Somebody tried to tell me it was no sound, but my motherfucking, I wasn't listening, and I was like, bitch, you're lying, but it was sound. That kind of even read into the message that was trying to come out, which I'm starting the message over. It was sad. We're not going to talk about it, but the overall consensus of that message that I was getting from that was thinking that it was about wisdom and being too goddamn wise, thinking that you know. I guess that's where that was going. But let's start over, though. We're going to read a whole new message. We know that the moon is in Sagittarius at the moment. The sun is in Leo. Mercury is also in Leo. Venus is in Cancer. Whatever that means for you. But let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I had to start the whole message over because I didn't want people to like listen to the message for 2, 3, 4, 5 whole minutes and don't hear no sound. They won't even listen to the rest of the shit. So let's just do the shit all the way over. Let's get a whole new message because I ain't necessarily even know what that message was trying to get to anyway. And that may be why, because the sound was fucked up. So let's see. Let's see what we got going. Pull this card. What is this? Lilith. Lilith came out. That's that shit that's in your aura. Lilith gives like a scorpionic vibe to me, but it's like your embarrassments, the things that you may be embarrassed about, that you want to hide. But when you uncover these things, they're not even anything worth to be embarrassed about necessarily. It's a square, a challenge with this. You breaking loose from that Lilith energy. Because once you transmute the energy, it automatically has a polarity too. So once you transmute it, you'll be able to have the full scope or the full ability of that energy. And with Lilith, the opposite of embarrassment would be like a power, not being shamed, being proud, confident, low key. The sun is in Leo right now, so be confident in the things that you may struggle with and see what it does. Then we got the sun that came straight on out. The Leo sun came straight on out. So it's a square. It's a learning situation that people may be going through at the moment regarding the things that they have been shunned about or have shunned themselves about. Because a lot of stuff you are embarrassed about is not even anything worth being embarrassed about. Nobody even cares for real. But by it being something so tender and so sensitive to you, it may be a learning experience for you to even much tap into that portion of who you are for real. And with the Leo sun coming out, it's time to express certain things regardless of how you may feel others receive you, as long as you know that you're in a certain type of good standing with your intentions and why you're doing what you're doing, especially if it's just for you to exercise who you are and push through the resistance. That in itself is an intention that can give you a whole lot of grace if you fuck up and find yourself embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? And fuck being embarrassed. That's just an emotion. You ain't do nothing to nobody. You didn't hurt nobody. Like you didn't alter anybody's situation just because you are embarrassed. So why is that like so? You know what I'm saying? Because I can understand how that feels. You know, if anybody can. That's a human for the most part. But let's pull some more energies out. So this is the emotions, not the emotions. This is the overall. Hold on. I'm going to pull the color cards first. That's what I'm going to do. So when it comes to this energy about being embarrassed, just naturally feeling like you're not the same as others. They have things to offer that you don't have. And what I have to offer is not upstanding enough for these people. These people don't want to hear what I got to say because I'm not important. That type of vibe, get out of that, bitch. Because you don't know. Like, and then who are these people? Nobody's no better than nobody else. What make you think somebody can do something that you can't do? Even if you don't have the talent in singing, you still got a voice that you can talk, that you can make a noise out of. So, you know what I'm saying? If somebody else can do it, so can you. Don't look at anything like it's you need to be shamed about it. Intuition is in the reverse. Okay. So, to me that speaks to the internal back and forth understandings and the communication internally. Not necessarily, it's not that it's not on point, it's that it turns on you. You can turn on yourself. Like, you can be in a situation that's great and steady looking at it for all the wrong things. and now you have changed that situation to be something that's not even good as it could have possibly been if you had been in your full appreciation of the situation. And that's like how that addiction is rubbing me at the moment. It's in the reverse. We might read it out the deck. I don't know. Y'all know I don't necessarily like reading out these decks no more like that, but I might. And it came in the reverse, and my cards was upright. I might have had the deck upside down, but it don't matter because it still came in the fucking reverse. So let's see. Regarding this energy of shame, embarrassment, and the Leo time to express certain things, and it being a learning lesson with the square. What can you tell us more about the intention, the intuition, and how we're dissecting ourselves from the internal perspective first? That is off-putting because it's in the reverse. So, or not even tell us what's another emotion that we need to be aware of. Because we're reading out of the emotions. Isolation. Don't isolate yourself because it is the fuck. And not even that. Isolation also gives one of a kind to me. Like, it's isolated because it's nothing else like it. And when it comes to individuals congregating with other unique individuals, people, real people, like people to be in their own space and to appreciate who they are because you can learn from them instead of them copying you or being a yes man to you. You can't learn nothing from them. They're not going to do anything unexpected or needed that you may didn't know was needed because they're always going to be lallygagging with you. So it's kind of necessary to have an isolation type of energy when it comes to you just building who you are. And I'm not saying that it's good to isolate yourself. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's good to know that I am who I am, and that's just it's nothing wrong with that. And that in itself is what I'm talking about with the isolation energy. And sometimes you may do need to isolate yourself to even feel fully grounded with who you are, but that's not what I'm necessarily getting from that card at the moment. Like, it ain't about you trying to hide away. No, it's about you showing these things and not caring about whether or not this idea only came from my isolation. That's the whole point. We got happiness in the reverse. Why happiness came out like that when I thought all these cards was in the upright? Happiness is in the reverse. Let's read out the deck real quick. Oh, and y'all, my bad again about the sound being off. I really didn't even believe that person. I was talking shit like, bitch, my sound ain't off. You just fucking with me right now. But it was off, so my bad. Okay. So we got intuition. Intuition is an inner knowing that we all possess. Society encourages us to ignore the deep knowledge that sits within us and asks us, blah blah blah. Like I said, the intuition, not necessarily pointing to your intuition being off, it's pointing to you being the controller of your intuition, you being the director and the observer of these things, and you internally choosing to look at it in a way that is not appeasing to you necessarily into the things that you are, in your shadows. You choosing to pick at yourself and look at your own little kinks as if it's disgusting. Maybe not disgusting, but you know what I'm saying. It's you not loving those internal little hiccups about yourself so that you can carve them into something that's unique and different that other people, since they didn't go through that what you went through, they don't possess the gift that came up out of that. But if you don't nurture the gift and recognize that there's gifts in these ugly situations, you won't be able to even see it. And that is why that intuition is in the reverse. And with the isolation, you could be isolating yourself on faulty pretenses in a weird way when you can just, everything has its polarity and has its way of transmuting and balancing itself out. So on the flip side of isolation, when it just comes to you isolating yourself and being separate from everybody in your own despair, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that you are an individual and have these different things about yourself and went through things on your own and have created your character in isolation, you shining those things brightly and actually being in your beingness. That's the isolation energy that I'm getting from that card. But what did the card say? Let me see. Okay, it says being isolated can feel lonely, but it can also be tremendously healing. When you feeling secluded, it can be a time to learn more about yourself, to dive down into the da 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 da. I don't even know why I'm reading out this book because I don't care what it's talking about right now. Because I'm knowing like whatever, it might change my idea about what I'm talking about. Happiness is in the reverse, but happiness in the upright is saying happiness is one of the most beautiful feelings that's if the world is shimmering around you, but we seldom acknowledge when we're feeling good and instead focusing. Yeah, so this is like you acknowledging the opposite of happiness. Happiness is available, happiness is apparent right now, but you so stuck in, not you, but people, or overall consists of the collection of the world or an energy signature that could be more on a percentage level of what I'm talking about. People may be looking at the things that they can obviously appreciate and be happy about, but so used to downgrading everything that they got going on, or things that is like something worth something for them, but others cannot see the value in, but it's not for them to see the value in. You downgrading all of those things and not choosing happiness when happiness is right there. Like, what the fuck? And I ain't saying it like that, like you throw it off to do that. I understand it's human nature, but that's the point of this reading. We got Lilith came out, which is the embarrassment, the things about yourself that you could be low-key shame about, that's not even necessarily warranted to be shame about, as if other people don't go through similar experiences and they still are who they are. How come you can't be who you are? And the challenge is you, with the sun, being confident in these things. And again, happiness came out. This is the energy of Leo. This is the energy of confidence. When you're happy, you're kind of like by default have a aura or layer an aura or a layer of confidence because you're in that high space, so to speak. So yeah, that's making sense at the moment. So when it comes to this, what type of logical understanding or information can we know, um, to give us more type of meaning and reasonings as to why and how we can switch things up genuinely internally? Because you can choose to say, I'm going to be happy about this situation, but don't feel it in your heart because you don't have a real, you don't have a real, bitch, you might not have a real sounded, materialized, visible reason as to why you can choose this, even though you don't supposed to have that. You're supposed to create that. So this is why we're pulling the number card, so that we can gain that type of insight if you can't find it for yourself. 3 is when I split the deck. Oh, look at that. When I split the deck, we got both threes came out. The congruent 3 and the uncongruent 3. I don't know which one this is, but I know this is connection. This is you being able to have thoughts individually and sharing those thoughts with others, whether they like it or not. And you're not knowing that you don't know what the next person thinks. You may share an idea with a person that you thought they would never want to hear about, and it could change their fucking life, or they could help you add on to that thought for your life, whatever. That's the point. And who cares if they don't like it with that little embarrassment? I don't know which position this is in, so I can't really speak on that. And I ain't gonna pull it. We're gonna just shuffle cards. But yeah, communication. Some of these cards are. It doesn't matter. Communication. No, 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 no. Let's see what comes out. Let's see what comes out. I don't like the way they came out, bro. No. This last time, if they come out reflected, I'm still gonna choose it, even if 8 of them come out. Okay. 0 in the reverse. 0. 0 is the space that all things come from. This is the nothing, and it's supposed to be flush pure. It's supposed to be very pure. It was in the reverse, as if people are like even rejecting that. That just brought me a few thoughts. I don't know if I can elaborate on, but it's like I don't want to. I ain't gonna be able to elaborate it, but it's kind of like how do I say it without being lame? Let me just leave it right there. So we got the 0. Most people 0, or their beginning space before they even came, is clear. They already understand that life is like let me not go there because I don't know how to break that down. Let me just stay where we at. 0 in the reverse. Let's see what come up after that. But outside of what I was trying to explain, 0 period, like I said, is just the space that you derive out of the nothing. And if it's in the reverse, it's like you're not even recognizing that you have that same component that everybody else got. We all came from something. Nobody is grander than you are from a basic perspective as far as you being a person like everybody else. So don't resist that knowing and think that and look at and not look at your beginning starting points as valuable just like everybody else's. Then we got the four. The four, this is a congruent four, I do believe. um Four is the space of Cancer, but four is also a masculine energy at the same time, numerically speaking. Four is a expression. This is when you actually have the thoughts and you share them with people, and then what it turns into is number four. So this is the potential. Remember when we had those two threes split in half? One was congruent, one was not congruent. And I was saying that at the three is when you have your own individual thoughts. You may decide to share these thoughts if you're not too scared or too embarrassed to share these thoughts. And once you share these thoughts at four, something derives out of that. That's when a idea of somebody can add on to your idea, or you can create something with the thought based on the other things around you that you have as tools or whatever. So this is the potential. If you you know, oh, and it's also a square. Remember the square? That's the lesson that's to be learned, to be able to share things regardless of your own self-projected biases. You have biases regarding yourself. Oh my God. We got number one. All of these energies came out in a good position. Like they're all of these are in their solution position. Only the zero is in reverse, but it's still a solution. And the one is in reverse, by the way. It's still a solution though. The one is the individual. And yeah, that rings very familiar to the cards I just pulled. We even got the square in the middle of the reading, just like we had right here. How we had the sun come out, the square come out. No, we had the Lilith come out, the square come out, and the sun. Makes a lot of sense when you look at the numbers, because I like to correlate everything. And since they came out in order, let's correlate them in order. So we got the Lilith coming out that matches the reversal solution zero, or the original space that you came out. Not appreciating or not regarding the fact that everybody has this in common. You're in life like everybody else, but being embarrassed of certain quirks that everybody has, but you choose to be embarrassed of yours when other people ain't thinking. You know what I'm saying? Other people may have worked on it, or only have the sense to know to be embarrassed. But the point is, you don't have to feel like that. And the learning point of it with the four and it matching the square is about sharing your ideas with others, regardless of how you think they may feel. Even if you fucking know that a person may not feel what you're saying because you're talking to your cousin that you already know. So what? Say it anyway, because that sets a standard. It sets a boundary to let a person know, I'm gonna be me regardless. You gonna be you regardless, so I can't be me. I can say what I want to say, and I can talk about the things that interest me, even if you're in my space, because you're in my space. I don't have to, like, you know what I'm saying? If somebody's in your space, or if you're choosing to be in their space, but y'all are sharing spaces, why not still be who you are, so that that understanding can be something that is neutral? Like, we understand you are a status quo type of person, and I'm not. But we still cool, but I don't have to belittle myself, and I don't have to change who I am just to share space with you. That's the learning lesson at the moment. And if you cannot find pure happiness in how you actually are, then when you share these things, people are going to look at you like, girl, shut the fuck up. It's lame as fuck what you talk about. But if I'm coming from a space of confidence and you can't tell me about me and what I like, you can't do nothing but respect it, even if you don't like it, what I'm talking about, right? So that's the message. And let's see. We already pulled numbers. Hold on. Did I pull it? And what was the other one? Oh, with the one. The one came out in reverse that was matching Leo and happiness. The happiness also came out in the reverse. That was a match to Leo, the sun. My messages always be like so synchronistic. Like, y'all don't see that? I know y'all see that. Okay, but anyway. Let's see what the one says. Just as a reminder, but I know what it's saying. I know what it means, but I want to see what it says. It says connected to all, including all directions. It sits radiantly, quiet, consciously. Yeah, this is ringing a bell back to that isolation. It is in its equalized position, but it's in reverse. So, if it's connected to all, including all directions, it sits radiantly, consciously in the center and is aware of its uniqueness and its individuality, but it's in the reverse. Then it's sitting there unhappy, like maybe thinking about, I am so gifted, I am such a wonderful person, but you're the one that's too ashamed to share these things and actually be yourself. So you can know all of these things and not use it, you know? And you can know all of these things, not use it, and be depressed about the fact that you ain't using it, and that's the opposite of happiness. Or you can flip the script and know all of these things about yourself, actually believe them, find confidence about it, be happy about who you are, even in your own spare time, all alone by yourself, and then share those things with other people, and you'll have overall happiness, because then you won't have to worry about other people's biases towards you, because they know to respect you. The fuck? Because, and I know things go deep when we talk about from individual to individual. You don't know what other people are going through. I don't know what stages that you're in or any of those things, but just understand that the confidence of what you're doing, if you're not confident in what you're doing, then maybe you shouldn't even be doing it until you're like, but it's tricky when it comes to spirituality, because you can't help but to be in the being. You can't help but to be a spirit in the body regardless. But when it's time to step out of the matrix, so to speak, sometimes people get weary when it's time to connect and actually not be on the same frequency and vibration and wavelength as the other people that's around them, because you're isolating or disconnecting from the matrix, but yet you're still in this world. You have to have some confidence. You have to be a little bold. You have to find happiness within first, because the external world that you're used to is not going to provide that. You are the source of these things. We have to create the experience. So you're the one that got to do that shit. I'm almost finished. I'm pretty much am finished. I really just wanted to jump on this message. Wasn't supposed to be that long for real. I'm not gonna go into the details because I don't want to spoil the message and make it be like, oh, she didn't really want to do that. So I'm not gonna. I ain't gonna go into why it ain't gonna be long. But let me pull the message up out of here. What up, Samira? What's up, girlie? She was at our girls' night out last night, baby. We didn't go live. That's what I wanted to talk about too. We never did go live. We were supposed to have a live open panel talent show last night. I kind of rushed and pushed the issue to have the talent show, when in reality, if you think about it, that can wait till the full moon. So we just sat in our girls' night private party, and we said fuck the live, because we're just girls anyway. We can do what we want to do. But no, let's have some accountability. My apologies for posting and spamming and having these ads about the live talent show, and then not having it. I even invited a couple of people and didn't even show up. I apologize. It is what it is. But we still gonna have it, and I feel like the energy will be more effective, and it'll make more sense when for the Aquarius full moon. You know. But it still was a success, and I think it was very appropriate because we were able to have a low-key talent show in a private setting. That's why I'm telling y'all about these sessions, why they're so important and so valuable, and they're like so unique. I don't know nobody doing no shit like this, and I've never heard it before. So we're in the back, we're in our little girls' night out, prepping our, however whatever we're talking about. I'm not going to get into the deets about it, but with the private talent show, there was an opportunity for people to express themselves comfortably in a safe space, to warm them up to maybe possibly expressing these things in their own actual real life, or even for the talent show, but more heavy on you actually working on these things and taking them seriously for yourself. If you actually give a fuck about your gifts and your talents, somebody has to care about it. Who is going to care about it if you don't? This is what the message is also about. Who's going to care about what you got going on, what you think is valuable, if you don't even play it out and make people aware? Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to be confident in these things. That even goes down to what I be doing when it comes to me promoting these things and reading cards. Nobody in my real life give a fuck about what I'm talking about. But do you think I give a fuck that they don't care? They can kiss my ass. I don't mean to say it like that. But fuck them, because at the end of the day, y'all cannot provide what it is that I find joy in. So since I know how to express these things and finally have someone to express them to, why would I not do that? Just because the other people may be looking at me like, the fuck she got going on? Sit in and wait, and I bet you won't say it to my face, because if you do say it to my face, we're going to have a conversation about it, and my conversations go deep. So be confident in who you are, and you'll find out the gifts that's within that will protect you for real. So let's pull a couple of cards real quick. What else, Sunshine? Sunshine was in the meeting last night too, boo. Gratitude came out. Be thankful for the things that you can provide for yourself, the internal sparks and joy and happiness that you just have in your mind. A funny joke that you can think about that's funny as fuck and you bust out laughing. Appreciate that. Don't stop laughing because people looking at you like you weird. No, I'm laughing because, girl, guess what I just thought about? Now, this could be my Gemini sun because I don't mind connecting and talking about certain things. But I have also been in the space to where I was quite isolated in the flunked out way, what the reading was saying, and didn't know that that was hindering my actual, not just lifetime, but my soul journey from lifetime to lifetime. I didn't realize that. That's how deep it is. That's how important it is. Like, don't play with that. This is gratitude. Be thankful about these things. It says gratitude brings more joy and abundance. Have you been overlooking the good of your life? Take a moment to appreciate what you have. This mindset will attract even more positivity or happiness and transmute this Lilith energy. The fuck? You can do what you want with all of your energies. You can look at it like they're ugly, or you can look at it like, I like it. Fuck, I like this ugly shit. And now it's not ugly no more. And other people will have no choice but to look at their ugly shit that they are hiding, that you got you looking at them like they're so high and mighty. But actually, they just hide well because they're not even on trying to do some internal, individual, unique type of work in their life. But once you do that, it shines a light on their ugly shadows. You don't have to bash them for that. They're going to see it themselves. You know, they'll have no choice but to peep those things about themselves, people around them, and what they got going on. This came out so happy, rekindling connection. I don't want to read that one. This about some goddamn. Well, it's cute. It's about like a low key. It's not twin flame because this deck has a twin flame card, but it's just like soul connections. I guess we can read and talk about it. This is you finding people who resonate with what you would like to have going on, like the deep desires or the I don't want to say desires because that's one of those terms that can be misconstrued as being overly obsessive and, you know, but whatever. This is you having like minds around you, like spirits, like people with like type of heart spaces, people who care about similar things in the world, people who don't litter because you're not the type of person that litter because of the reason, like for me, for instance, I used to litter because I didn't know no damn better. I used to ride. We're not going to go there. But I understand now. If I'm littering inside an actual body as a cell, so to speak. So if I do that as above, so below, I got a body with cells inside of it. I don't want my cells and my single cells nucleuses just spewing out toxic waste just for the hell of it. No, do what's right. And then those things will ricochet and you'll find the same scenarios in your actual life. But that wasn't, I'm still going to pull two more cards because I wouldn't necessarily want to pull that one. Okay, this one still came out again. So I guess it was supposed to come out. Let's see. Two more cards though still. Reconciliation. It may be time to reconcile with someone or something that is an unresolved issue weighing on you. Taking the first step towards peace will bring inner tranquility and strengthen your future relationship. Now this could be this card is in the reverse too. Why the fuck, bitch? I don't want to talk about no twin flame. Anyways, let's not go there because what are we talking about at this point? Like, are we talking? Because see, y'all know how I read. I be reading for other shit. But are we trying to talk about relationships that we got going on, like the actual specific details about how these things actually play out, and then you are able to see your shadow and your, like, are we talking about that? I don't want to talk about that though in that way. I'm not no love cast type of reader like that. But because I was finna read it in a way of reconciling with yourself. It could be reconciling with others, or it could be reconciling with others like-minded spirits that go beyond this lifetime, and you may have never met them per se in this lifetime, but they're still familiar spirits, and reconciling with that, finding these things based off of you reconciling with your own shadow energies and your Lilith energies, and you finding happiness in the midst of what you want to create and paint as ugliness. You still choosing, I like it. That's transmuting everything. And if you tell yourself to appreciate something, and you have actual meanings and reasonings in your heart as to why you should do that, then by default everything will become in alignment to that internally, and you'll be able to, as above so below, connect everything that's within you is also going to be experienced without, and you'll be able to reconcile internally and also have these same type of spiritual connections externally that was happening from lifetime to lifetime that may have skipped because you could have got flunked out for a minute, but or in one lifetime. But anyways, then we got I don't want to read about no damn twin flame. A twin flame relationship is intense and oh, my phone on C. Her phone just went on 10% as soon as I. Are you struggling with a deep connection? This relationship challenges you to grow and evolve on a soul level. So if you're dealing with people who are not, let me put my phone on charger because we might need to talk about this. Hold on. If you're dealing with people who are not on the same time as you, that is a lesson. Because back to the original cards that we had, a lesson is a square. We had Lilith. If you're dealing with people who are versions of that old you, and by default that is the case, anybody that you deal with is a reflection of who you are. And if you're dealing with people who are a reflection of who you are from a previous cycle and yet they are not transmuting and learning and growing, then there are going to spark certain shadow energies about yourself as a reflection. Lilith energies, embarrassment energies. It'll make the wall even harder to break through when it comes to you healing and pulling your way out of old scenarios and cycles based off of the individuals and the energies that you're collected around, the people that you're choosing to be around, or the behavior patterns or the routines or hobbies that you're choosing to do on a regular basis is going to steady have you stuck into this embarrassment energies. Leo is going to shine a light on these things. It's still going to be time to express certain shit, and you're not going to be in the space or position to express them based off of the things that you're still fumbling and what the scripture say, fuck the scripture, and yeah, and the learning lesson type shit. Did I pull 3 already? Yeah, I did. Here go the twin flame. Y'all finna go. How many minutes I've been on here? 32 minutes. I feel like that's long enough. What up, Crystal? Lightweight mind state girl. You need to tap in with us. I ain't trying to put no pressure on you, but you need to tap in with us for our girls' night out situation. Like you missed it last night, boo. We came up with new ideas and everything on how we're gonna continue this situation. Like this is a good time to jump on board if you resonate with what we're doing. If you resonate with what we're doing, that's very important. Because we're sharing ideas, we're creating with every individual who is a participant and would like to actually connect with us on some genuine long-term type of shit, even if you're not, because I'm not trying to make people feel like they're bound to anything. It's not that, but the point is we're building off of one another. Like last night was about confidence, and my affirmation, and my affirmations are always strong because I mean them hoes. My affirmation was that anybody who's participating in this event tonight, especially if you actually try to shine your light, this will create confidence in your day-to-day life, and especially with whatever talent or gift you're sharing with us tonight. This is, if we're connected and agreeing collectively on an affirmation or whatever we have going on as a frequency or an intention, then those things have more power. That the collection of these individuals and spirits coming together on this term has more power, and you'll be able to more see that externally to you when it's time for you to live your actual life. So that's what I'm saying, baby. You better connect in with us because we begin it, and now we are having a Leo talent show. Likely, I don't even want to speak on it because likely we will. Even if we don't have it this season, we'll eventually still have a talent show. And y'all already know we do this from season to season. So you always have the opportunity to tap in. But every season is going to be different. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's a ritual. You can't do everything the same every time because you're in a cycle that changes. So what I look like doing the same thing every cycle when the cycle is not even the same. So we're in our first year of doing this, and this might not necessarily even happen next year, but the point is to complete the ritual, and it's going to expand what we got going on in the first place, and it's going to turn and transmute to something beautiful because it's very original and genuine. It's from a genuine space. It will not be able to be recreated unless from us, but people can use the template, So this is a very special, beautiful thing that we got going on, and if y'all are fucking with us, or if y'all just want to have that type of vibe in your space, I mean, here you go. I'm a DM you because yes, absolutely, okay. And I will tap you into the group chat or something like that so you can be linked in. Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I be trying to figure out how to connect, how to keep things connected. Yeah, we'll tap you into the group chat. Anybody who's interested, and you can leave the group chat at any moment. But I'm finna drop off. If y'all wanted to hear the message in full, rewind, play it over. It was a straight little message. It was good. I don't really have much more to say though. I'm trying to think before I dip. What time is it? 12:56. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 5 energy. Oh, and that's our energy, number 5. Like, that's the Death of Divine Feminine energy signature for real. It's 5. Ever since we started this situation, to me, I've always seen it as a number 5 type of scenario. And there's been so many other synchronicities. Even in my last ad that I had made when I was talking about boom, what I said? So boom, blah, 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 blah. When the phone had failed, a number, like, you have to watch it again. I had screenshotted it, but I haven't posted it or nothing. But when the phone fell, number 5 popped up. You have to look at the video again to see. But you know, it's a whole lot of other reasons why, and confirmations that this is a number 5 energy, and it's important to understand what you're doing and the frequency around what you're doing so that you'll be able to shape it more effectively because you know what's going on. But that was just a side note. I'm finna dip, y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Hopefully see y'all for the possible up and coming Leo session that we're gonna be having. It may be live, but of course, like I said, we do these things every season. So if I don't see you then, we'll see you next time, possibly if y'all want to tap in. All right, y'all. Peace out. I fuck with y'all. Bye.